Imagine a nation on the brink of a quiet revolution, where the roar of the West threatens to redraw Canada's map. Alberta, Saskatchewan, and beyond are fed up with Ottawa, and a spark of rejection has ignited an independence fire that won't be stopped. Ready to discover why this movement is capturing hearts and minds? Stick with me, because this story isn't just politics. It's a cry for freedom echoing through families, communities, and entire economies. Let's dive into this growing movement, and I promise you want to know how it ends. For years, Peter Downing has believed Alberta should exit Canada. Now, a Ledger poll shows over half of Canadians understand why Alberta craves independence, a sentiment spreading beyond its borders. But Downing's skeptical. To us, they seem like the mean girls at school, wanting us to keep begging for their acceptance. Ledger's Andrew Enns suggests the constant clashes between the provincial government and Ottawa are resonating. The Western provinces just announced something Ottawa dislikes, and Mark Carney's inner circle didn't see it coming. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Interior BC, and even Manitoba aren't whispering anymore. They're shouting sovereignty. Carney said no, expecting silence, but the West got louder. Rallies are packed, town halls overflow, and petitions spread like wildfire. What once felt like a dreamy idea is now an unstoppable force. Ottawa's rejection was the spark that fueled this political blaze. Slamming the door on people who already feel ignored is a mistake. Alberta isn't waiting. Its referendum is real. The question is filed. Should Alberta become a sovereign nation? The Alberta Prosperity Project brought it to the Court of King's Bench for review. Some call it a delay. I see it as a checkpoint on a moving path. Organizers need only 177,000 signatures in 4 months, not 600,000 like before, and they already claim 240,000 pledges. If a fraction turn into votes, the referendum is inevitable. The economics are undeniable. Alberta pumps 4.2 million barrels of oil daily, more than some OPEC nations, contributing $70 billion to Canada's GDP. The Keystone XL cancellation cost $17 billion yearly, plus billions Alberta sends east in equalization payments, getting little back. Laws like Bill C-69, project vetoes, and carbon taxes block investments and jobs. This is about communities feeling their future is controlled by a distant government ignoring their needs: oil, gas, pipelines, jobs. On a sunny Calgary Sunday, separatists hunt signatures. Their pitch is clear. Alberta gets no fair deal in Confederation. We're governed by Central Canada, and that won't change without sovereignty, they say. The Western Independence Party of Alberta, WEPA, needs signatures to become official. The gripes? Taxes, regulations, immigration, carbon tax. In Cowtown, these resonate, though not all signers are sold on separation. Is this about Alberta as its own country? I didn't catch that, one says, surprised. It's not Alberta's first flirt with separation. 35 years ago, under another Trudeau in Ottawa, it happened too. Saskatchewan's not idle either. A Lloydminster meeting was more than a photo op. It shared plans, timelines, legal strategies. Their threshold is lower, just 125,000 signatures. Grassroots groups are collecting, and 40% of Saskatchewan voters would back a referendum today. Economics explain much. Wheat, potash, uranium shipped to the U.S., but regulated by offices thousands of kilometers away, never facing a minus 20 degrees Celsius harvest or stall pipeline. Carbon taxes and project vetoes turn frustration into action. Alberta leads, but Saskatchewan's close, with Manitoba and Interior BC paving the way. Manitoba, with its rail lines and U.S. port access, is key to a Western alliance. Indigenous leaders criticize Ottawa's handling of the West, and while Manitoba doesn't wave separatist flags, it sees the issues. In Interior BC, frustration grows in forestry and mining, hit by federal red tape. This system doesn't protect our businesses. It controls them, they say. The youth are especially energized. At a Staples in Alberta, 20-something workers were thrilled over a separatist sign. Is this really happening? That's awesome. There's real energy for a free Alberta. Together, these provinces form a bloc with resources and population to stand alone. Angus Reid polls show 19% of Albertans are firm separatists, with 17% leaning that way. In Saskatchewan, 40% would back a referendum. These aren't just numbers, they're families feeling ignored. Canada faces its biggest unity crisis since Quebec in the 80s and 90s. If Alberta and Saskatchewan push forward, Ottawa could lose 75% of Canada's oil production and billions in GDP. But it's not just money, it's identity. The West values faith, family, freedom, entrepreneurship. To them, the East leans on bureaucracy and subsidies. We've propped up the country long enough. It's time to look after ourselves, they say. Youth see jobs vanish, pipelines canceled, growing up feeling Ottawa doesn't care. This gap is nearly unbridgeable. Ottawa responds with fear, warning of collapse if separation is mentioned. But every scare tactic strengthens the West. The legal framework is set, signatures pile up, and provinces coordinate. By trying to scare people, Ottawa has fueled a movement too far along to stop. I'm grieved.